Good morning all, I am Mrs. Joy. Today let's understand what is IELTS all about and what are the different modules it consists of and on what are the modules that the student is tested upon. Basically, IELTS is International English Language Testing System. A student is tested in 4 modules, that is reading, listening, writing and speaking. So let's today understand the reading module. Basically, reading module is for 60 minutes and it has 40 questions. You need to complete these 40 questions within 60 minutes. You'll be given 3 passages, that is passage 1, 2 and 3, and the level of difficulty surges from passage 1 to passage 3. So passage 1 would be easy, passage 2 would be of average difficulty, and passage 3 would be the toughest. To complete all the 40 questions in 60 minutes is a very Herculean task, and for this you need to have some reading strategies to have a quick understanding of the text. Now today I'm going to discuss in detail a few strategies of reading which will help you to answer the questions quickly and correctly. One of the basic strategies is to understand the title and subtitle. You need to read the title and subtitle if at all it's given and predict what is the text all about, who is the text written for, and what kind of audience would be interested in this kind of an article. And also, by reading the first paragraph or the introductory paragraph, you will be able to understand what is the author's main purpose of writing this article, what is the main idea of the whole text or the whole passage, and you'll also be able to understand how the author is proceeding from one paragraph to another paragraph by understanding the structure of the paragraph. Now, the structure of the paragraph is very essential because it contains one main topic, that's also called as the main idea, which will give an ample information what that paragraph is going to be all about. And this main idea or the main topic sentence is supported by many supporting ideas, which are also called as supporting details. And this is followed by an example sometimes or a concluding statement. Now, first paragraph the concluding statement of the first paragraph would be an indication of what the succeeding paragraph would be. By understanding the structure of the paragraph, you would be able to understand and summarize the paragraph, which in turn will help you to understand what is the main theme of the passage. Thank you. As I mentioned before, you need to orient yourself to the text by understanding the title and the subtitle, which will help you in turn to have an overview of the basic text. So once you read these titles and subtitles, you can ask the questions like, who is the text written for, why is the text written for, and try to predict when is the text written and which audience would be interested in this type of text. There is also another strategy to have a quick understanding of the reading passage. That second strategy is called skimming and scanning strategy. This is something concerned with the speed reading technique. So if you read faster than the normal pace, that is called skimming strategy. And scanning strategy is employed to understand the details of the text. Now, when to employ skimming and when to employ scanning strategy. Now, each paragraph, as I told you, has a main idea, which is usually found in the first sentence of the paragraph most of the time. If not, the main idea would be in the last sentence of that particular paragraph. Now, once you identify the main idea and also understand the supporting ideas, you can use these by employing skimming and scanning techniques based upon the question asked. If a question is about the specific details, Then you need to employ the scanning strategy, because by scanning or by reading in detail, you will be able to get the specific answer for that particular question. But if the question is very general, then you need to employ the skimming strategy, wherein you need to skim through or read through faster and then try to answer the question. This you can get a hang of it by practicing n number of texts. Now, we can also predict the main idea of the whole reading passage, because usually the main idea of the reading passage is pointed in the first sentence of the first paragraph of that passage. At times, it will be in the last paragraph of the reading passage. So by understanding the main idea of the passage, you will get an understanding of the main theme of the passage. Now, by summarizing is another technique which will also help you to understand what is the writer's purpose in writing this passage and what are the main themes and sub-themes. Now, summarizing also helps you to summarize each paragraph, and the summary of each paragraph clubbed together would give you the summary of the entire passage. Now, how is this summarizing helpful? This summarizing is helpful because you will be able to understand the paragraph heading questions and also the short answer questions when you summarize each paragraph. Now, what are those things that you need to focus upon when you are summarizing a paragraph? You do not summarize the supporting details. You only understand, skim through the supporting details, you scan the main idea and write in your own words, that is, you paraphrase and write in your own words a few words regarding the summary of that paragraph. For example, first paragraph, say if it's about the types of birds, and the supporting details contains the names of the birds, then you need to just write a gist of it onto your left side of the paragraph, stating that para 1 is about types of birds, and then move on to the second paragraph. In this way, you need to write the summary of all the passages, which in turn will be able to help you in attempting paragraph heading questions and also short answer questions. Thank you. To sum up, the summarizing of the paragraphs is nothing but the shortened information of that paragraph written in your own words. We do not summarize the supporting details. You summarize each paragraph. This will help you to answer list of headings questions. It will also help you to answer what is the main idea of the passage or the text, and you will also be able to answer which paragraph to refer to when a specific question is asked about. The third strategy would be the transitions. These includes the synonyms, the transitional phrases, and the pronouns. Synonyms are nothing but the words, different words with the same meaning. Now, what does synonyms help us? They help us indicate what is the focus of the paragraph, and synonyms are usually found in the supporting details of the paragraph. And the pronouns like this, that, those, these help in understanding the pronouns like this, these, those, which, etc. They are called as explanatory words, or they give extra information or additional information of the paragraph. And synonyms usually indicate the previous statement. And transitional phrases like the contrasters like though, although, but, however, they indicate the shift of the ideas. And there are also connectors like because and as a result, which indicate the continuity of the idea. So these transitional phrases, the synonyms, the pronouns are a very good aid to understand the paragraph quickly and you would be able to attempt more number of questions in a shorter time. Thank you. Words like moreover, in addition to, etc., they indicate the continuity of the idea, and there are some emphasizing words like indeed, in fact, etc., which emphasize the same idea. By being able to identify the connectors, the contrasters, the additional words, the emphasizing words, and the synonyms and pronouns, you would be able to understand the main idea and the theme of the paragraph in a better way. And the next strategy that you need to employ to have a quick reading of the passage and quick overview and understanding of the passage would be another reading strategy which will help you to understand the text well is global reading skill. Now, what is global reading skill? Global reading skill is nothing but having a global idea of the entire text. To have a global idea means to have a mental summary of the whole content of the text and also the overall structure of the text. Now, this global reading skill is directly tested by a global reading question that is asked in the exam in the form of by asking the purpose of the writer in writing the passage. Now, to answer this question, you need to understand the global idea of the passage, that is the mental summary of the whole text. And paragraph heading questions will help you to understand the theme of each paragraph, whereas global reading question will help you to understand the theme of the whole passage. Now, by identifying the theme in each passage and also the overall theme, you would be able to understand if there are many themes in a passage and are there any overlapping themes, and there are some themes which are important to the main message and some themes which are not so important. You will also be able to identify some paragraphs which are very important and some paragraphs which give a lot of details but they are not so important. By being able to identify the main themes, the sub-themes, the important paragraphs, the not so important paragraphs, you would be able to answer paragraph heading questions and the global reading question, which is the purpose of the writer of the text. Thank you. And another strategy of reading would be understanding the text and identifying if the text is an argumentative text or a factual text. Usually, the three passages would be of facts or it would be of arguments. So, basically, an argumentative text would contain the opinions or the views of the writer. And some of the texts are also factual. Now, if we are able to identify the views and the opinions of the writer, then we will be able to answer some of the questions like multiple choice questions and a direct question like what is the author's opinion concerning a certain topic. And factual texts would be like direct texts about the facts, the way it's mentioned in the encyclopedia. So these texts would be classified as factual texts. Thank you. As I mentioned, many texts contain the views or the opinions of the writer or the people. Now these views and the opinions always support the writer's claim. Now claim is nothing but it is a few evidences short of a fact. It is not a fact, but it is claiming to be a fact. Now these texts are called as argumentative texts. A good argumentative text will always have data, well supported data with views and opinions. and poorly formed argument will have less supported data. All the research-based topics are factual texts, but with the well-supported data and with the views and opinions of the writer, that kind of a text is called as a good argumentative text. Now, this kind of understanding would help you in answering yes, no, not given questions, and also you would be able to answer the author's purpose of the text. Thank you so much.